Classification system. Explain that classification system aims to reflect evolutionary relationship. Reflecting evolutionary relationship. Classification system aims to reflect evolutionary relationship between species. So evolutionary relationship is basically the relationship of species from lower to higher extreme. Traditional biological classification system grouped organisms based on the feature that they share. So the scientists in the past year they used to group organism according to their features. If organisms shared more similar features, then they were said to be more closely related. In past, scientists have encountered many difficulties when they're trying to determine the evolutionary relationship of species based on this method. So this method was not so useful as some species uh, have same features but they are uh, different. Using the physical feature of species such as color, shape, size, and has many limitations and can often lead to wrong classification of species. So we can't say some animals have same color, same shape, and same size. They are grouped together, but their physical features are same, but their um, internal features, internal building is not same. So that system of classification was not justified. Explain that the sequence of bases in DNA are used as a means of classification. So with the advancement of genetic engineering and technology, organisms are classified according to the bases in the DNA. Here we describe that organism shows feature because they originally descend from a common ancestor. Example, all mammals have bodies covered with hairs, feed young from mammary glands, and have eternal ears, pinnas. Originally, organisms were classified using morphology, the overall form and shape of the organism. For example, whether it has wings or legs, and anatomy, the detailed body structure as determined by dissection. Unless we determine the detailed body structure, we can't say they are uh, placed into the same group. As technology advanced, microscope, knowledge of biochem, and eventually DNA sequencing allow us to classify organisms using a more scientific approach. DNA as a base sequence. This is the strand of DNA. You can make it like ladder. And when we open this is like that. Here are bases which are attached throughout the loop of the DNA or RNA. DNA is a chemical from which our chromosomes are made. It is the genetic material passed on from one generation to the next. So, for example, human DNA is only passed to the human's offsprings. Tiger DNA is passed to the tiger offspring. Each DNA molecule is made up of strings of smaller molecules containing 4 different bases. So, these bases which I mentioned earlier, these are adenine, cytosine, guanine, thymine. This is the one strand of DNA. In the second strand, the bases are opposite. A is always opposite to T, C is always opposite to G, G is always opposite to C, and T is always opposite. This is the base sequence. 4 different bases called adenine, cytosine, guanine, thymine, and they are represented by their first capital letter. Biologists can compare the sequence of bases in the DNA of organisms from 2 different species. Studies of DNA sequence of different species shows that the more similar the base sequence in the DNA of 2 species, the more closely they are related. This means that the base sequence in a mammalian DNA are more closely related to all other mammals than to any other vertebrate group. Here we discuss the DNA bases in 4 organisms. Phytosophus, इसमें आप you can see the base sequence C T T A G A T C G T T C C A C A C A T A T A C. So similarly, Brachynes armiger, Brachynes hirsutus, Aptinus, Pseudomorpha. These are their base sequence. Now we describing. This is the example DNA base sequence. DNA base sequence can show how closely related different species are. The sequence above shows that Brachynes armiger and Brachynes hirsutus are more closely related than any other species in the list, as their DNA sequence are identical except for the last, but one base of Brachynes armiger and Brachynes hirsutus. If we see their base sequence, where is the difference? They are more closely related. Here is the difference. This Brachynes armiger and Brachynes hirsutus, but they are closely related. Armiger has a T and that pressure, whereas Brachynes hirsutus has an A, as you can see in the base sequence. Armiger has T and hirsutus has A. This is the difference. So, with the difference, the species are closely related, but their names are changed. One is Armiger and other is hirsutus. As DNA-based sequences are used to code for amino acid sequence in proteins, the similarities in amino acid sequence can also be used to determine how closely related organisms are. So one thing is depend on the amino acid sequence in the protein. Features of organism. State the main features used to place animal and plant into appropriate kingdom. Living things are first of all divided into few kingdoms. These are prokaryotes, bacteria, protista, multicellular seaweeds, fungi, mushroom, toadstool, molds, plantae, all green plants, animalia, animal kingdom. Features. Now we discuss the features, some main features of animals and plants. In animals, they are multicellular. Their cell contain a nucleus, cell membrane, but no cell wall and chloroplast. They feed on organic substances. Mainly, they are dependable on plants and other animals. Main features of plants, they are multicellular. Their cell contain a nucleus, cell wall, and chloroplast. Plants make their own food by photosynthesis. With this, our chapter 2 has ended. You can see all videos and notes on my YouTube channel. Kindly like my video, subscribe my channel.